Alrighty, what's up guys, single player Nacho here. 400 pounds of maniacal chunk. It's Chris Walker from Outlast. Born to kill and not seeing any other colors than red, Chris Walker is a walking, talking, drooling death machine. So would you be able to survive an encounter with Chris? Now listen guys, it's important to be honest in saying that all of us would shit our collective pants if we came across anything near Chris Walker. At a whopping 6'9½", this man definitely fills entire hallways. He's completely delirious. Outside of his mind, there is no collection of sane thoughts anywhere near this man. And he has a thing for pigs, and guess what? You smell like bacon. In fact, everyone in Mount Massive Asylum smells like bacon, apparently. It's like a fetish for Chris Walker, finding little pigs, aka his victims. And that's the first thing we'll start to look at, Chris Walker's victims. How did they fare? Exhibit A, the Library of Death. There is not a single square inch in this library that is not stained in blood. Dozens of heads, corpses, pieces of body parts that really don't even belong are in this library, and it's all authored by Chris Walker. And at the forefront of this really disgusting scene is a Murkoff Company soldier who is, by the way, armored head to toe with bulletproof material. Somehow, Chris Walker is so deadly, he was able to get this soldier and stick a pole up his bunghole. Now how does that happen? That's a deadly fact of Chris Walker that we have to take into account. Most of these heads probably belong to security guards, soldiers, who were, by the way, completely armed with pistols, batons, machine guns. These guys could not take down Chris Walker, regardless of the weapons they were equipped with. In fact, if you take a look around the entire asylum, you'll see soldiers on the floor, completely mutilated, and I gotta think that this is the work of Mr. Big Pig. So guess what? Even if you bring a handgun or a shotgun, somehow Chris Walker is gonna steal ya, grab ya, and maim ya. Which leads us perfectly into Exhibit B, the security guard decapitation. This is a live look at what happens to Chris Walker's victims. It's not a pretty sight, I can assure you of that. This fucking guy takes off heads like pulling candies from babies, which is probably not a good example to use, but it's just that easy for this guy. That's why he's known as the Strong Fat, yanking people's heads off like daisies. That sounds better. We would be damned to forget that this is a video game. Most likely, it's impossible to completely yank someone's head off like that. It's not gonna happen, but in the context of who Chris Walker is, the experimentation that's happened to him through the Murkoff Corporation, you're looking at someone that if you're in a 10 feet radius, this is a one-hit kill, which is another deadly fact. Mr. Big Pig will kill you in one hit. That's why you gotta remember, this is a death machine. A concoction of PTSD, seeing red, insane war theories, insomnia-induced experiments that literally left his eyes white, like the Grim Reaper himself. And as a test subject, gained so much strength, mutated into this, well, strong fat. He carved out a third eye on his forehead, almost as symbolism of how superior, all-knowing, he feels to others. Chris Walker kills because he believes he has the right to end the Walrider experiment. So he'll yank your head off in no time. And lastly, Exhibit C, the Hallway of Death. Now judging from this scene alone, I would think that Chris Walker's position as ex-military is probably the whole ass tank itself. No, it does not matter how many friends or people you bring with you to take down Chris Walker, because it's just not gonna happen. An earlier part of Outlast Whistleblower shows the amount of destruction Mr. Big Piggy is capable of. Not one, not two, but 3 little piggies got blown to fucking smithereens. Security guards just aren't a match for the Strong Fat, so bringing a group just isn't an option. Now with all this information in mind, let's take a look at each and every scenario you are placed in with Chris Walker. And would you survive them? We'll call them trials to be cute. Trial 1, the locker. So the beginning of this trial, You hear footsteps, very loud, heavy footsteps coming down the hallway. Your options are to run or hide. That's really all you have. Along with those heavy footsteps, you hear the most demonic sounding gibberish.
Red on red, on red on red.
Mumblings of other dimensions. And that's how you know you're dealing with Mr. Strong Fat. Worst of all, you're stuck in a room that's one way only. So if you chose hide, that's the best course of action. Of course, running into the door towards Chris Walker, you just ordered a one-hit kill sandwich with extra bacon. So you've chosen to hide in a locker. The key to surviving this encounter is to stay the hell quiet, not make any sound whatsoever. Now you gotta ask yourself, are you capable of doing this? You see a man with crazy lacerations to the face, white eyeballs, blood spewed on his chest. Like, someone get this guy a napkin, please. And the only thing on his mind is to kill you, specifically you. Could you stay in that locker completely silent? Well, you'd better try. Moving on to Trial 2, the gas chamber. This scenario starts with a very unfortunate fact. Chris Walker already knows you're in the room. So he sees you, and he's banging this what's supposed to be impenetrable glass so aggressively, he's gonna get you. So do you run or do you hide? If you chose to hide, it is somewhat admirable, I would say. My guess is that you're hoping that those white eyeballs means that Chris Walker is completely blind. But unfortunately, this would lead to your quick death. Not only is Chris Walker not blind, he has enhanced senses. So the assumption that this guy probably wouldn't be able to see you hide when he's right in front of you, not a good idea. So running is the best course of action. But we have a potentially deadly risk factor, and that is the green gas that's being spewed behind Chris Walker. Now, to Chris Walker, he's already an experimental freak. It seems that this gas hardly affects him. But to others, this thing will pretty much asphyxiate you within seconds. So another thing that you have to take into account, even before setting foot into the Mount Massive Asylum, you have to think, well, Murkoff is a very shady company and they're experimenting with really creepy stuff. Expect the fact that you might run into a mutated freak like Chris Walker. So even if you do choose to run away, Mr. Porks has freakishly fast speed. Like a tank with a turbo engine, Chris will not stop until he has his burly arms wrapped around your neck. Another possible deadly factor is the fact that Mount Massive Asylum is as strange as the name it has. It is a maze. So it would be imperative to retrace your steps and make sure that as you're running away from Chris Walker, stay away from dead ends. So do you think you've survived yet? Well, let's take a look at Trial 3, Dark Cell Block. Now this is the trial I would most think is a mental thing. You have to keep it very, very cool up there. When it comes to fear, this scenario has you in a completely dark prison cell and one very big 6'9" soldier of death slowly, methodically chasing after you. Not only that, taking a look around the area, you have very putrid smelling, rotten corpses, dedicated by yours truly, Chris Walker. Do you have the mental toughness to be able to stay quiet around this already fucked up situation of a killer chasing you? And now you have to stealthily maneuver yourself towards an exit. Sneaking is the only option here. It's a good thing you just so happen to have a late 2000s camcorder with night vision equipped. Otherwise, you'd truly be completely lost in this trial. But we're not just dealing with any psycho here. If you track Chris Walker's movements during this scenario, he'll just randomly stop and look around. This is an experienced maniac. You can tell many of Mount Asylum's patients and survivors have literally done this trial of trying to survive in a dark prison cell against Chris Walker. Chris Walker stops, looks around, and waits to see if there's any movement, any sound that his victims are making. Any slight footstep and you'll end up on the floor in some deep shits. So with all this information in mind, do you think you'd survive Chris Walker? I'd give this guy a rating of most likely not, because you already have this unpredictability of what is raging inside this guy's bones. Chris Walker is an experiment, a brutal one. Firearms barely affect him. It took the Wall Rider to completely demolish Chris Walker, but not all of us are creepy, six-pack having apparitions. I wish we all were, but we're not. Well, thank you so much for checking out this video. I hope you enjoyed it. So, do you actually think you'd be able to survive Piggy Biggie? Be sure to comment down below your thoughts and suggestions for other would you survive characters. Don't forget to like and subscribe for more horror lore, lists, and mysteries. Again, guys, thank you so much for all the support. Have an awesome rest of your day. And as always, stay single.